An unexpected encounter. In the depths of the Andromeda Galaxy, the Craxian Empire reigned supreme, its warriors unmatched in their ruthless efficiency. Among these elite soldiers was Zorn, a battle-hardened commander renowned for his unwavering dedication to the Craxian code of conquest and control. As Zorn's ship hurtled through the cosmos, the aftermath of a vicious space battle against the rebels of Therians left his vessel battered and careening off course. Warning lights flashed across the control panel as the ship's AI intoned, "Critical damage sustained, initiating emergency landing protocol." Zorn gritted his teeth, bracing for impact as his ship pierced the atmosphere of an uncharted blue-green planet. The vessel streaked across the sky like a wounded phoenix, leaving a trail of smoke and fire in its wake. With a thunderous roar, the ship crashed into a dense forest, carving a path of destruction through the ancient trees. Amidst the wreckage, Zorn emerged, his armor cracked and his body bruised, but his spirit unbroken. He surveyed the alien landscape, taking in the unfamiliar scents and sounds of Earth. In the distance, a plume of smoke rose from a small settlement, piquing Zorn's curiosity. Gathering his remaining strength, the Craxian warrior set off towards the settlement, his mind racing with questions about this strange new world and the potential threats it might hold. As he approached the outskirts of the town, a sweet, unfamiliar aroma wafted through the air, drawing him towards a quaint building with a colorful sign that read Lucy's Ice Cream Shop. Zorn cautiously entered the shop, his senses overwhelmed by the bright lights and the hum of unfamiliar machinery. Behind the counter stood a petite human woman with fiery red hair and emerald eyes that sparkled with warmth and curiosity. "Welcome to Lucy's," the woman greeted him with a smile. "I'm Lucy. You look like you've had a rough day. Can I interest you in a scoop of our famous chocolate fudge ripple?" Zorn, taken aback by the woman's friendly demeanor and the strange offer of sustenance, hesitated for a moment. His Craxian training had prepared him for many scenarios, but this was unlike anything he had ever encountered. As he stood there, torn between his ingrained suspicion and a growing fascination with this peculiar human custom, Lucy's smile never faltered. She grabbed a cone and began to scoop the rich, creamy dessert, her movements practiced and graceful. "Here," she said, holding out the ice cream cone to Zorn. "Try it. A little sweetness can go a long way in making even the toughest days a bit brighter." Zorn reached out, his battle-worn hand engulfing the delicate cone as he brought it to his lips. The moment the cool, velvety substance touched his tongue, a burst of flavor unlike anything he had ever experienced exploded in his mouth. As he savored the unfamiliar sensation, Lucy watched with a knowing grin, her eyes twinkling with amusement and understanding. In that moment, an unlikely connection formed between the battle-hardened alien warrior and the warm-hearted human ice cream shop owner, setting the stage for an extraordinary adventure that would challenge everything Zorn thought he knew about the universe and his place within it. A taste of humanity. As the days turned into weeks, Zorn found himself drawn to Lucy's ice cream shop, not just for the tantalizing flavors she introduced him to, but also for the companionship and wisdom she offered. Through their conversations, Zorn began to learn about the intricacies of human culture, the depth of their emotions, and the power of their desires. "You see, Zorn," Lucy explained one evening as they sat in the shop after closing, sharing a pint of her newest creation, "humans are driven by their passions, their dreams, and their love for one another. It's what makes us strong, even in the face of adversity." Zorn listened intently, his mind grappling with concepts so foreign to the rigid, unyielding ways of Craxian society. In the Empire, emotions were seen as weaknesses, and individual desires were secondary to the collective goal of conquest and domination. As he savored the rich, creamy flavors of the ice cream, Zorn found himself opening up to Lucy, sharing stories of his own life and the battles he had fought. He spoke of the unforgiving nature of Craxian society, the relentless training, and the expectation of unwavering obedience. Lucy's eyes softened with understanding as she listened, her hand gently resting on Zorn's arm. It sounds like you've never had the chance to discover who you truly are, beyond the warrior the Empire has molded you to be. Her words struck a chord within Zorn, and he felt a stirring of something unfamiliar in his chest, a yearning for something more than the life he had always known. As the two grew closer, Zorn began to question the very foundations of Craxian society, wondering if there could be another way, a path that allowed for individual expression and the pursuit of happiness. However, their budding friendship was suddenly interrupted when a Craxian scout ship landed on the outskirts of town, its sleek, menacing form a stark contrast to the quaint human settlement. Zorn knew that it was only a matter of time before the Empire discovered his location and sent a full invasion force to conquer Earth. Torn between his loyalty to the Empire and his growing affection for Lucy and the human way of life, Zorn knew he had to make a choice. He could either stand by and watch as the Craxians subjugated Earth, or he could use his knowledge and skills to help the humans defend their home. As he looked into Lucy's eyes, seeing the trust and hope that shone within them, Zorn made his decision. He would fight alongside the humans, not just for their sake, but for the chance to forge his own path and discover the true meaning of freedom and companionship. With a newfound sense of purpose, Zorn set out to warn Earth's governments of the impending Craxian threat, determined to do whatever it took to protect this fragile, beautiful world and the remarkable beings who called it home. Defending Earth. As news of the impending Craxian invasion spread, panic gripped the nations of Earth. Governments scrambled to prepare their defenses, but against the technologically superior Craxian forces, their prospects seemed grim. Zorn and Lucy worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between Earth's capabilities and the Craxian threat. Zorn shared his knowledge of Craxian technology and tactics with human scientists and military leaders, helping them develop new weapons and strategies to level the playing field. In secret underground labs, human ingenuity and determination combined with Craxian expertise to create hybrid weapon systems and defensive technologies. Zorn marveled at the speed and adaptability of the human scientists, their creativity and passion driving them to find innovative solutions in the face of overwhelming odds. As the preparations continued, Lucy became a beacon of hope for the people of Earth. Her ice cream shop became a gathering place for those seeking comfort and solace in the face of the looming threat. She listened to their fears and shared stories of Zorn's bravery and the unyielding human spirit, inspiring them to find courage in the face of adversity. When the Craxian invasion fleet finally arrived, the skies darkened with the shadows of their massive ships. Cities across the globe trembled as the alien vessels unleashed their devastating weaponry, reducing buildings to rubble and sending citizens fleeing in terror. Amid the chaos, Zorn stood tall, his armor gleaming in the eerie light of the Craxian bombardment. With a rallying cry, he led a daring counterattack, utilizing the combined might of human and Craxian technology. The human forces, bolstered by their new weapons and fueled by the determination to protect their home, fought with a ferocity that surprised even the battle-hardened Craxian warriors. As the battle raged, Lucy worked tirelessly to support the human resistance. She transformed her ice cream shop into a makeshift command center, coordinating civilian efforts to provide aid and support to the frontline fighters. Her unwavering spirit and compassion became a symbol of hope for all those who fought to defend Earth. Zorn and his human allies pushed back against the Craxian onslaught, their combined tactics and weaponry proving effective against the invaders. However, the Craxians were relentless, their superior numbers and technology allowing them to maintain a steady advance. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, Zorn led a small team of human special forces on a daring mission to infiltrate the Craxian flagship. As they battled their way through the ship's defenses, Zorn couldn't help but marvel at the courage and skill of his human companions, their determination and adaptability a testament to the strength of the human spirit. But as they neared their objective, Zorn found himself face to face with a ghost from his past, his former mentor and the supreme commander of the Craxian invasion force. In a moment of painful clarity, Zorn realized that he would have to confront not only his own people, but also the very ideals and beliefs that had shaped him if he hoped to save Earth and forge a new future for himself. The power of human spirit. As the battle raged on, Earth's defenses began to crumble under the relentless onslaught of the Craxian invaders. Cities lay in ruins, and the once vibrant planet was reduced to a smoldering battleground. Amidst the chaos and destruction, Zorn found himself captured by Craxian forces during a daring mission to sabotage the enemy's main power source. Beaten and bruised, Zorn was brought before his former mentor, the supreme commander of the Craxian invasion force. The commander sneered at Zorn, his eyes filled with contempt and disappointment. "You are our most promising warrior, Zorn," the commander growled, his voice dripping with disdain. "And yet, you chose to betray your own kind for these pitiful creatures. Why?" Zorn lifted his head, his eyes blazing with a newfound conviction. "Because they have shown me the true meaning of strength, Commander. Not the cold, ruthless power we Craxians glorify, but the resilience and unity that comes from fighting for something greater than oneself." The commander scoffed, his laughter echoing through the halls of the Craxian flagship. "You've grown weak, Zorn. You've allowed these humans to corrupt you with their sentimentality and their foolish notions of love and compassion." As Zorn faced the scorn of his former mentor, Lucy refused to give up hope. She rallied the remaining human forces, her unwavering spirit and determination becoming a beacon of light in the darkness. Through her words and actions, Lucy inspired the people of Earth to continue fighting, even in the face of overwhelming odds. "We may be facing the greatest threat our world has ever known," Lucy declared, her voice ringing out across the airwaves, "but we will not be broken. We will stand together, united by our love for each other and our determination to protect our home. We will show the Craxians the true power of the human spirit." Inspired by Lucy's words, people across the globe took up arms, forming a global resistance movement. From the ruins of their cities, they launched guerrilla attacks against the Craxian forces, their improvised weapons and tactics catching the invaders off guard. Back on the Craxian flagship, Zorn used his intimate knowledge of the ship's layout to stage a daring escape. As he fought his way through the corridors, he couldn't help but reflect on the profound impact Lucy and the humans had on his life. They had shown him the value of compassion, the strength that comes from unity, and the power of fighting for a cause greater than oneself. With renewed determination, Zorn made his way to the ship's central control room, intent on sabotaging the Craxians' primary weapon systems. As he worked frantically to override the security protocols, he heard the sound of footsteps approaching. He turned to face his former mentor, who stood before him, a look of rage etched upon his face. "You've made your choice, Zorn," the commander snarled, drawing his weapon. "And now, you will die as a traitor to your own kind." As the two warriors clashed in a furious battle, Zorn realized that he was no longer fighting for the Craxian Empire or their ideals of conquest and domination. He was fighting for Earth, for Lucy, and for the chance to forge a new path, one that embraced the power of human spirit and the bonds of friendship and love. Ice cream saves the day. As the global resistance fought back against the Craxian invaders with renewed determination, Zorn and his former mentor engaged in a fierce battle aboard the Craxian flagship. The fate of Earth and the future of both their species hung in the balance as they traded blows, their weapons clashing in a dazzling display of skill and power. Meanwhile, Lucy and a small team of human resistance fighters infiltrated the flagship, determined to rescue Zorn and deal a crippling blow to the Craxian invasion force. Armed with the knowledge and tactics Zorn had shared with them, they navigated the alien ship's labyrinthine corridors, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. As they neared the central control room, Lucy and her team were confronted by a group of elite Craxian guards. The battle that ensued was fierce and brutal, with the humans pushing themselves to their limits as they fought against the genetically enhanced alien warriors. In the midst of the chaos, Lucy heard the sounds of Zorn's battle with his former mentor echoing through the ship's halls. With a surge of adrenaline, she broke through the Craxian defenses and burst into the control room, just as Zorn was thrown to the ground, his weapon skidding across the floor. The Craxian commander loomed over Zorn, his eyes gleaming with triumph. "Foolish traitor," he snarled, raising his weapon for the killing blow. "You should have known better than to challenge the might of the Craxian Empire." But before the commander could strike, Lucy's voice rang out across the room. "Wait," she cried, holding up a tub of her infamous chocolate fudge ripple ice cream. "Before you end this, there's something you need to try." The commander hesitated, his curiosity piqued by the strange offering. Slowly, he lowered his weapon and reached out to take the tub from Lucy's hands. As he tasted the rich, creamy dessert, his eyes widened in surprise and wonder. "What is this?" he whispered, his voice filled with awe. "I've never experienced anything like it before." Lucy smiled, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "It's called ice cream," she explained, "and it's a symbol of everything that makes Earth and its people special. It represents our creativity, our passion, and our ability to find joy and connection in even the darkest of times." As the commander savored the ice cream, Zorn slowly got to his feet, his eyes locked on Lucy. In that moment, he saw the true power of human resilience and the unbreakable bonds of friendship and love. With a newfound sense of clarity, Zorn turned to his former mentor. "This is what we've been missing, Commander," he said softly. "The Craxian way of conquest and domination will never bring us true fulfillment. It's only through embracing our individuality and connecting with others that we can find genuine happiness and purpose." The commander looked up from the ice cream, his eyes shining with a new understanding. "You're right," he admitted, his voice filled with humility. "We've been so focused on conquest that we've forgotten what it means to truly live." Zorn reached out and took Lucy's hand, his heart swelling with a love and gratitude that transcended the borders of species and culture. "Together," he said, his voice filled with determination and hope, "we can forge a new future. One where Craxians and humans can learn from each other, grow together, and create something truly beautiful." In the weeks and months that followed, the Craxian invasion force withdrew from Earth, their hearts and minds forever changed by the power of human resilience and the simple joy of ice cream. Zorn and Lucy opened an intergalactic ice cream parlor, a place where humans and Craxians alike could come together to share stories, laughter, and the sweet, creamy goodness that had brought them together in the most unexpected of ways. And as they stood behind the counter, their hands intertwined and their eyes filled with love and hope, Zorn and Lucy knew that they had found something truly special, a bond that could overcome any obstacle and a love that could change the universe, one scoop at a time.